You're welcome to Wisdom Gate platform. Wisdom Gate International School. You must also create the platform on Wisdom Gate Television. Please, I'm here for all the teaching staff. I'm just doing this short video to serve as the lasting solution towards little challenges some of the new teachers are having concerning our pattern of lesson notes. Please listen attentively. Here with me, I have the lesson plan for week 1, ending 19th of February 2021. The date is 5th of February. We all know this. And the subject is for civic education. The TKT pattern of lesson notes, that is the teacher's knowledge test of the Cambridge TKT, has this format. When I first introduced it 2 years ago, I allowed us to have some alternative nomenclatures to enable us have a better understanding. But for some people, it's a challenging pattern of lesson plan and notes. We have tried so much by comprehending the whole patterns, but few of us, the new ones and few of the old ones, are still making some little mistakes concerning this, especially at this era of unification of our notes. That the note a child has or copies in Campus 2 is still the same note in Campus 3, 4, and 5. And parents begin to imagine, how did these people do this? So please, listen attentively. The lesson plan heading here, the topic is National Consciousness and Identity 1. So it's assumed that the notes, that this topic is very large, that there may be 2 of it. The second on this platform is the profiling of the class. When you are profiling your class, this is under the class profile. But I didn't give you the class profile because on the profile, we will not be able to know the details at which you may expect to profile your class. But here, we have the age of your learners, followed by level, followed by number of learners, followed by sex. This is a co-educational system. We are not expecting boys or girls. It's a co-educational system. You are going to see what we put there. It's mixed. There's no duration when it comes to this pattern of lesson note, the TKT. But when I introduced this in 2 years ago, I said, under the class profiling, we should slash and put the duration, the time at which each lesson is to take. Here, on the right side of the column, we have under age, we have 10 plus or minus 10 years. The reason being that some learners in that class may be 10 years and few months, 2 or 3 months, while some may be 9 years, 10 months, or 9 years, 11 months. So that's the essence of the minus or plus 10 years. Under level is JSS1, that's basic 7. Number of learners, you put their number, 30. Sex, mixed. And duration, 40 minutes per period. This is all for this item. When we are using the essay type of lesson notes, what we have here was the previous knowledge. What have you done, or what have you taught your learners in the past that with that knowledge, they will have a better understanding of what you are trying to introduce? For some of us, what they put here as timetable feed is just the previous topic, just what they did previously, not what is related to the topic. And it's wrong. In education, it's a blunder, it's a taboo. It's a taboo. The timetable feeds is what is that the child has the previous knowledge of concerning on the topic you are about to introduce. Here, the teacher in this subject says, students have learned in their primary education that national symbols should be respected. This is JSS1 class. This is the first time they are in secondary school. So, this topic must have existed in their, after all, we do social studies in that class. We also do civic. So the teacher recall what have been taught. But the syllabus of the primary school is the continuation when we come to secondary. So as when we get to university. So the national symbols, national consciousness, national identity, they're together. In TKT lesson notes, we have three different M's. We have the main M, we have the subsidiary M's, we have the personal M. Let me take each in turn. When it comes to personal M, when it comes to main M is answering the question that says, at the end of this teaching and learning, based on this topic, what is that? What is that behavioral change you expect your learners to have at the end of the teaching and learning? What benefits is this topic to your learners? So here the instructor, being the teacher, says, and we always use at the end of the lesson, because the behavioral change is expected to be of that at the end of the lesson. That is, in education, we call it summative evaluation. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to make sacrifices for the unity of the country, according to the teacher. Okay? National consciousness and identity, you make a sacrifice for the unity of your country. Okay, no problem. Subsidiary M. When we are using the essay pattern of the lesson notes, this subsidiary M replaced the specific objective we had. Why this lesson topic? Why is it so specific? What are those specific areas you want to capture towards achieving your main end? Here, we go by the end of the lesson, which is formative evaluation. By the end of the lesson, the students should be able to, explain the meaning of national consciousness and national symbols. The students should be able to identify the Nigerian national symbols. Describe the ethnic composition of Nigeria. This is the aims under the subsidiary, which the teacher wants the students to achieve. Personal M. Your personal M should be in line with your main M and your subsidiary M. Whatever you do at the end of this lesson is to achieve the subsidiary M, is to achieve the main M, is to drive home this lesson. To adhere strictly to the time allotted for the lesson towards achieving subsidiary M, according to the instructor. Okay? If you say, to ensure that the stages of the lesson and the three styles of learning are achieved, considering towards the aims, or you say towards the subsidiary aims, it's still okay. It's still okay. But whatever you say is the end of the lesson that counts. Your own personal aim should not be out of the content of this lesson. Assumption. Assumption. In the essay pattern of lesson notes, we have the entry behavior. What is that the learner is bringing to the lesson? For some persons, they say bring it to the table. No matter how new the topic is, there must be something boiling at the mind of your learners. Or you may also assume to some levels what they think of this topic before and even after you must have delivered the lesson. Here the instructor says, students agree that every patriotic citizen is expected to stand still at the sound of the national anthem. Yes, yes, they know this. Even from their days of the primary school, they don't move when the national anthem is going on. It's an assumption. It's an assumption. And it's in line with the national consciousness and identity. Yes, you assume they know it. You have not taught them that. You assume it's there. Let's go to anticipated problems. In TKT pattern of lesson notes, you must anticipate a problem. Because if they know this lesson, I don't think there's any need passing this instruction. They are not aware. They don't know. They don't know this lesson. So that's why you have to pass this instruction, taking these steps as follows. Here the teacher says, students may find it difficult to fully describe the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. Okay? So here the teacher knows that this is a problem. What has the teacher done, or what is the teacher going to do? Under possible solution, the teacher further explains the above extensively using examples from proper comprehension. Okay? I hope the teacher does that. All the resources, all the references, all your resource materials is to be captured here. We're in the 21st century. So the teaching and learning has gone beyond using a cardboard paper. That's why we call it no longer instructional material, but instructional media. Here, the teacher is to give a video clip. Here, the teacher is to give anything, because in Africa, we believe that seeing, they say, is believing, in order to drive home the lesson. Let me see what the teacher says here. The teacher says that under instructional media, the teacher picture displaying the Nigerian flag and the Nigerian coat of arms is okay. If at all this is to be displayed before the learners, if at all. Because a good number of us say something that is expected of the learners to have, but at the end of the day, they will not be able to display them. Procedure. Procedure. This is at what manner is the note expected to be presented? Yes. Remember, I said there is a chain between subsidiary aim, procedure, and evaluation for that of learners. Here, the procedure should come in form of a step. Step 1, meaning of national consciousness and national symbols. Step 2, Nigerian national symbols. Step 3, ethnic composition of Nigeria. Permit me to move to interactive patterns. We expected that our teaching should be child-based. A teacher is not expected to be talking to himself or herself. You talk and allow the students to respond. That we call child-based. It shouldn't be teacher-based. So the interactive pattern should be teacher to students and also students to teacher. If it's a situation where you have a group work, it can also be student to student, because they have to interact toward achieving the targets you would have set for them. Here in TKT, the teacher being the instructor of this lesson is not setting only instruction evaluation for the learners alone. A teacher is also expected to evaluate himself or herself, to know to what level the teaching and learning must have taken place. Let's see what the teacher put here. Under evaluation learners, the teacher evaluates the students by asking the following questions. I, explain the meaning of national consciousness and national symbols. I, identify the Nigerian national symbols. I, describe the ethnic composition of Nigeria. Now, let us see what the teacher has said. Remember, I said that the chain between evaluation for learners, procedure, and subsidiary end. Now, let us go and see what the teacher puts on subsidiary ends. I, explain the meaning of national consciousness and national symbols. Let's go and see what is, if it's actually what the teacher has on the procedure. I, under the procedure, meaning of national consciousness and symbols. Excellent. Let's also go and check at the evaluation learners. Here, it should be in affirmative. You have to put it in the question form. Here, the teacher, under evaluation for the learners, explain the meaning of national consciousness and national symbols. Yes. Yes. Let's go and check the third one, assuming the second one. Okay, let's look at the second one. Identify the Nigerian national symbols. Under procedure, Nigerian national symbols. Under evaluation, identify the Nigerian national symbols. Excellent. Let's quickly look at the third one. Describe the ethnic composition of Nigeria. On the third item on the subsidiary ends. Let's search for it on the procedure number 3. Ethnic composition of Nigeria. Yes. Under evaluation for learners, under II, that's our interest. Describe the ethnic composition of Nigeria. Yes. Yes. The note is in order. Evaluation for the teacher. After evaluating the learners, the teacher should, based on the responses of that of the learners, should be able to find, considering the slow learners, the academically challenged learners, whether teaching or learning has taken place. Here, the teacher should, let me see what the teacher put down here. The teacher said, the teacher evaluates herself based on how well the students respond to the evaluation questions. If the responses are satisfactory, the teacher is not satisfactory, the teacher revisits the lesson. Let me ask this question. How many of us have revisited our questions in the past? We just move ahead. In education, at the end of evaluation, at the end of the lesson, for you to have effectively a summative evaluation, if the responses from their learners are not satisfactory, you repeat that lesson. Yes, you repeat it. The lesson is to be repeated. But for us, we'll march ahead. Summary. Here, the essence of the summary is that peradventure you are not in school, you are down with fever, or whatever challenge that must have put you off your work. Your colleague will have your notes in a short while with the capture. With what you have on your summary, we'll be able to have an idea. Remember, your colleague must not have been treating this particular topic at the moment. He knows it. He's also your colleague. Or even you quickly have a class. You have to just recap what you have on your summary. Let's quickly run this summary based on national consciousness and national identity. National consciousness is the love, devotion, and feelings citizens of the same country share. National symbols or identity are those unique characteristics that makes a country stand out amongst others? It refers to the culture, identity tags, signs, symbols, and emblems with which a nation or a country is identified. Thus, the national symbols of Nigeria are the coat of arms, national flag, national anthem and pledge, national currency, national identity card, etc. You can see, with this, you have the lesson notes, the content at your fingertips. You fortify yourself before presenting your lesson before your learners. Homework, which is the concluding part of this. Under homework, life has made easy for us in Wisdom Gate. We have our workbook. Here, the instructor says, Civic Education Workbook, page 29, number 1 to 5. So you are referring them to do the homework. What is the homework? Teaching and learning continues at home. Teaching and learning continues at home. What you may not have covered within the 40 minutes of your period, teaching and learning has to continue at home. Let me quickly run this. This is for English department. Let me quickly run this. A lesson plan for week 1 and 2 ending 26th of February 2021. The date is here. English language grammar. Lesson plan heading, phrasal verb. The class profiling is age, level, number of students, sex, and duration, and properly stated. Timetable fit with the previous knowledge. Remember this phrasal verb. The students have been taught pronouns in the previous term. Please, the HODs involved in some of these subjects, please do your work. Please try. I don't know what pronoun is doing with phrasal verb. I stand to be corrected, but I know what I'm saying. For example, put on the fan. Keep off. Keep is a verb. Off is a preposition. So what the teacher is expected to do here is the students have been taught verbs and prepositions. That's the previous knowledge that is related to phrasal verb. I'm not aware that pronoun is related to phrasal verb. What I see some of us do is that we refer what we just did last week, and it's wrong. The timetable fit is talking about what have you done in the past that is related, that will be a more or less like an open door, although there's no technology like that in education, like more or less an open door to this other topic you are introducing. So it mustn't be what you just finished last week. So please, the owner of this note, I just speak it, the soft copy. The timetable fit here should be the students have been taught verbs and prepositions in the previous term. Because I know it's the verb and the preposition that must have given birth to phrasal verbs. Please, HODs, watch this. The main aim, at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to use phrasal verb in both formal and informal situations. Excellent. Subsidiary aim, I know it must have played at the same role. So please, let's try as much as we can. Here, the homework, SS1 Oxford Workbook, pages 60 to 62. Excellent. Please, with this, I assume that the newly employed teachers, which you have given the short seminar on this pattern of lesson notes in a hurry, we have a better understanding on this. And for some of our old staff, members of staff, that are still finding it difficult to apply this, please do well to do this. Because what we will do now is, if it's not presented this way, the note is to be cancelled, the plan is to be cancelled, and the teacher will redo the plan. I remain Uncle Joe. Thank you and God bless you.